guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, awesome.
Hello.
Check out my cool new blue blocking glasses.
I need to get some of those, hey.
They're so good. Oh, hang on, I'm just going to turn my phone off. Awesome.
I'll just post in Facebook that we've gone live, just in case anybody's missed it.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So I thought that it would be good to do a Q&A kind of style, so that I can ask you, Mel, those questions that a lot of people ask me. And so they're obviously things that a lot of people, that come up for a lot of people. And I'd love to get your perspective on it because, you know, everyone's got their own little bit of advice that they can offer. So, yay, more people are jumping on. So to start with, I wanted to ask, what do you think is the most fun about building a doTERRA business?
Oh, the people, for sure. The people that you get to meet and connect with, that is by far the best thing ever. The sitting in circle, not only sitting in circle with people, but then meeting the people at the events, you know, everyone in our Path to Freedom community, connecting with people at, you know, we went to Uluru last year, Anna, which was so much fun, and just the people, it is the best, for sure. Do you feel the same?
Well, at the moment, I'm just addicted to watching everybody's Instagram stories from Vietnam.
I have serious FOMO.
At the moment, the Vietnam incentive trip's on. So during I think it's like 4 months across the year when you get different enrollments, those enrollments count towards points and then you can earn yourself a spot on this trip. And every year they go somewhere different. So last year, Mel and I went to Uluru, and this year it's Vietnam, and the year before that it was Fiji. So you get to go to some really cool places. But yeah, at the moment, like it's just all over Instagram and I'm like, oh, so good.
Yeah, best fun. The trips, the people, the events, you know, that's why convention is so epic. So I'm hoping that all of you on this call have got your tickets. Give me a wave. Who's coming to convention? Okay. Annabelle?
Wow, I'd love to, but I'm in New Zealand, but I'll think about it.
Well, lots of people from New Zealand usually come. So
Grace is coming from New Zealand. Yeah.
I'm coming over to Sydney in July, but I would love to come. So we'll definitely think about it.
Maybe you could combine the July trip with the May trip.
Well, we could. My sister lives in Sydney. It's her 30th birthday, so that's why we're going in July. But I would really love to come in May as well. So, yes.
Do it. It's life-changing. It's life-changing and so much fun. It is the best fun. You guys, I'm so glad to see everybody else going to be there. That's awesome.
Yeah, super exciting. And there's a video that you can watch in the Path to Wellness, I think. It might be in the Path to Freedom. All about convention and the people that went last year. We all did a video and just said what we took away from it as well. So that would be a really good one to watch so that you can see how amazing it is. It was so fun. And we all get a big Airbnb together and we stay together and we all, like, nobody really knows each other before we arrive. Then when we get there, we're like all best friends by the end. It's so good.
And we have lunch together on both of the days, and Tara has a big party on the Saturday night, which will be awesome. We all sit together. It's really, really fun. So it's one of those things as well that it's like, you don't really know how good it is until you've experienced one. You know, I used to hear people say, oh, you've just got to experience it. And I was like, whatever. And then I experienced it and I was like, this is like the best fun ever. Like it's massive high.
Yeah. I mean, I was on the high the whole time I was there, before I came actually, because I was so excited about it. Whole time I was there, like I was just vibing up here, even though I was super sick. Yanara will remember. I was really sick over convention last year. And then even
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was not good. But then, yeah, just like the biggest high the entire time. Like it didn't even matter. Yes, so another question I wanted to ask is to do with goal setting. So, I mean, for me, my goal for the Empower Tribe this month is reaching platinum, which is super, super exciting. But do you think, Mel, that you can be successful without setting a goal? Because I've heard people say that they don't want to put too much pressure on themselves or they don't want to stress themselves out. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I have always set goals. I love setting goals, and especially in this business, I think it's really important to set goals for yourself, you know, and set these rank goals and enrollment goals and workshop goals. I think it's very, very important. I don't want anyone to put that uncomfortable, burn yourself out, burn yourself into the ground, give yourself adrenal fatigue pressure on themselves. I don't want anyone to do that because I've done that and I know what it's like. But I think setting these goals is really, really powerful. And I think breaking it down. So like, what do you want to achieve with your doTERRA business for 2019? And then what do you want to achieve for the middle of the year? And then what do you want to achieve for February? So I like to break it down and chunk it down like that. That's how I set all of my goals. And I think that's really important. Put them somewhere you can see them. I read mine every morning. You can put a little Post-it note on your computer, but I think it's really important. I mean, that's what works for me, but I don't want anyone to give themselves adrenal fatigue in the process of striving for their goals. No.
Yeah. And what about if you've got someone who's like set a goal and they're like, whether it's a rank goal or a number of people that they want to, the number of people they want to have at a workshop or something like that, and then they start to hear no a lot.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big part of network marketing, of life, of business, is that you're going to get some no's and you cannot take them personally. That is network marketing 101 rule. You cannot take anything personally. Life, you can't take things personally. And especially in this business, you cannot take things personally because you're going to get no's. You're going to get lots of them. And just because someone gives you a no, it's a no thank you right now. Not, you know, because I gave Tara a no for 2.5 years. She asked me for 2.5 years and I was like, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you, I'm not interested, no thank you, no thank you. And then it was the perfect timing. And so you guys have to remember that. It might not be the right time for someone. They may have just lost a parent, or their child might be sick, or their dog might have just died. You don't know what's going on for anybody. So you just have to remind yourself to not take it personally and remember that it's just a no thank you for right now. Unless someone says, stop asking me, you're annoying the crap out of me, leave me alone, then keep inviting, keep sampling, keep following up, because it's just might not be the right time right then.
Yeah, and I know I've had this conversation with Tara before as well, and she was talking about how she'll keep inviting someone, but you kind of feel when it's time to reach out to someone again. So depending on, you know, your relationship with that person, for someone it might be, you know, a week later. And then, you know, like every week you can just like send them a text. But then for other people, it's like maybe once a month feels better, and you're just reaching out to let them know what the promotions are for that month. And then you'll feel when it gets to that point where you're like, I don't know whether I'm just annoying this person. And so you send a breakup message to them and you say like, you know, just honestly, do you actually want to get oils? Or, you know, it's totally cool if you don't, just let me know so I can take you off the list of people. And then that just, it creates better energy for your relationship between the two of you as well, because then you know that, oh, that's where they're at. But yeah, then you also know, oh, that's clarity, that's a no. So yeah, the best thing that you can hear in this business is either a yes or a no. When you're in that kind of like, maybe I don't really know what's going on, like that's where, you know, you don't want to get stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing that I get asked is, what's the best thing to do when somebody says that they really want to build a business, but then they also say that they don't know anyone or that they have nobody left to invite?
Okay, like I think, you know, just even opening your phone book, the contacts in your phone. I'm sure like everyone, I don't even know where my phone's gone, but everyone has like what, at least 200 contacts on there. I don't even know how many I have. Let me see how many contacts I have. I have 591 contacts in my phone. 591 people that I can connect with. That's not then including my Facebook page, my Instagram, and, you know, everything else, my email. So we have got to commit at the very start to never telling that story ever again. I will never tell the story that there's not enough people or I've reached out to everyone ever again. You guys have to remember that just over 1% of the Australian population have oils in their home. There's a lot of people that still have not got oils, right? And every opportunity is an opportunity to invite someone. So if you literally have invited all 591 contacts in your phone, then when you go to the post office, when you go to the bank, when you go to the cafe, when you sit on an airplane, when you sit on the bus, when you sit on the train, when you go to friends' houses, you can take oils. Like there are so many opportunities to share and connect over these beautiful oils. And even if you're constantly using them, that is a perfect opportunity to start a conversation about them. That is a perfect opportunity. So let's all commit right now to never telling that story again, that there's no people. Like seriously, give me a hand raise if you are 100% committed to never telling that story again. Awesome. Great. Okay, so everyone's committed to it. So I'm going to hold you to that. Anna, if they ever say that, ever, you owe me all a green juice.
Yeah.
You owe me all a green juice at convention.
What would you say?
Green juice. Huh?
What's like the craziest, like the person you absolutely least expected would be into the oils, but wanted oils?
Oh. Craziest. I guess just old school friends.
Mm.
I think for me, it's, old school friends.
It made me tear up at Christmas time because I went to a Christmas party in country New South Wales with some of my friends from high school, and they're the people that I was like, oh no, they're like not into this. But, you know, after me using the oils for about a year, and then, of course, I've invited them along to workshops, and they'd got a couple of oils into their homes. And then when it came to Christmas time, we had this like blow up pool outside, and then somebody was complaining about mozzies. And then my friend Catherine was like, oh yeah, I made a mozzie spray with some of that Terra Armour oil. And she had her own spray bottles that she'd bought online, and then she filled it up with Terra Armour, and then she's like spraying all my other friends. And it was just like, wow, like it's actually like made a difference to them. And it just felt so good. I was like, people that I just did not expect. And then same thing, during the week, I was in Wagga visiting my dad, and he was changing the oil in my car. And then afterwards, he brought over the doTERRA hand soap. And I was like, what is this? And then he was like, oh, it's the only thing that can get oil, diesel, grease, everything off your hand. You just need 2 bits and it's all gone. And I was like, oh my God, Dad, like the person I least expected.
So cute. Actually, my younger brother, who is a 27-year-old professional rugby union player, is obsessed with the oils. So that shocked me. And yeah, I was not expecting that at all. And what got him was ice blue. So that converted him, and tea tree for his pimples because he was getting quite bad acne, and lavender because he wasn't sleeping. So he started with like those 3 oils, and he saw such an amazing difference in his life, his skin, his sleep, his muscles, that he was fully converted. So he got an account, and now he orders, and yeah, and he loves it. He's a full devotee to the oils. Like when we went to Greece together last year, he surprised us in Greece, and he was really unwell. Like really, I think he had bronchitis. And anyone who knows any rugby players, they can barely walk. So he kind of like came to me and like fell in my arms and was like, fix me, fix me. And so at nighttime that night, he's like, can you just like mummy me and baby me? This is like this ginormous rugby player. And I think he was a little bit homesick, and he just wanted to be pampered by his big sister. And so I was like, all right, frankincense, copaiba under the tongue, on guard, because he had bronchitis. I was rubbing lavender on his chest, and he was like, this is the best. And he rolled over and looked at Leo, and he's like, you get this all the time? Is this what you get all the time? Like they were joking, and Leo's like, yeah, it's pretty good. And it was just so sweet, you know, this big rugby player just so in love with the oils. So, you know, never say no for anybody, ever.
What about somebody who says, you know that they could really use these oils, right? But then they say that they either don't have the money or that the oils are too expensive.
Well, I mean, okay, there's a couple of things you can do here. What we're doing with these oils is we are inspiring people to take back their own health into their own hands. That is what we're inspiring them to do. We're inspiring them to open their oils cupboard instead of their medicine cabinet first. We want them to turn to nature before they go to Western medicine. And by all means, I'm not bagging Western medicine. It is so perfect for when you really need it. Okay? But there are so many times where, whether it is habitual or uneducated, that people go straight for Western medicine. And what my mission is for everyone to turn to their oils first. So you can educate them on, you know, you become the healer in your home. You become the pharmacist. You are taking back control and responsibility of your own health and putting that back into your own hands. So you can start by educating them there. And then you can also, when it comes to the LRP or the monthly order, when people say things like, oh, I can't afford a monthly order, your role is to show them that they're already spending the money. So they are already buying toothpaste, shampoo and conditioner, probably moisturizer or a serum, possibly supplements, a hand wash, whatever else there is. They're probably already, no, they're not probably, they are already buying those products every month. So you can say to them, instead of going to Woolworths or Coles or whatever your local supermarket is to buy your Colgate toothpaste, why don't you buy the doTERRA low tox version and get rewarded for it? Get points, commissions, and free oils. So that's where the education is really important, because the reason why someone wouldn't get on the LRP is because they don't know about it. They aren't educated on it. So it's your role to explain that to them, explain that they're already spending the money. Alice Nichols is so unapologetic about this. She's like, show me your bank balance and I'll show you where you can afford it. Like, she's so unapologetic about it. You know, and I love that about her. She's also very unapologetic about when people give the excuse of, oh, I don't have time. She's like, I'm going to come over and sleep over and spend 24 hours with you, and I'll show you where that time is. I'll show you where you're wasting your time. And so we've really got to commit to letting go of the excuse of time and of money, and also, you know, help people see that you can do two things. You can help people see that they have limiting money beliefs, and I'll tell you how to do that in a second, but also you can educate them on conscious consumerism. So when they go to Woolworths and Coles and they are buying big brands, they're saying that they believe in that company and that ethos and their values. And I guarantee that if you actually looked into some of those huge companies, you would not want to support them. So you can also educate them on why doTERRA is such a beautiful company, the work that they do, all the work that they do around the world, freeing children from child sex slavery and building homes and hospitals and schools and stuff like that. This is why you need to know about the co-impact sourcing and why you need to come to convention, because once you understand about the work that doTERRA do, you're like, why would I not want to support this company? It is just so beautiful what they do around the world. And this is why it's so important you guys need to get on one of their co-impact sourcing trips as soon as you possibly can. They're life-changing. Nick is a completely different human being after going to Nepal last year. Completely different. So, and they've got Guatemala at the end of this year, which is just going to be amazing. So it's really important you can educate them on conscious consumerism. You can also educate them around their money story. You know, if they say to you, I can't afford it, you could say to them, are you aware that that is a limiting belief, and that, you know, depending who it is and how you use the language, you'll alter the dialogue depending who you're talking to, right? But I would say something like, if they're a semi-open person, I'd say something like, you know, if you keep affirming that you can't afford this or you can't afford that, you're going to get more of that. You're actually telling the universe that you can't afford these things. And so the universe goes, oh, okay, you can't afford those things. So if you want to change your story, you've got to change your dialogue. That's really important. You will never, ever hear the words, I can't afford X, come out of my mouth, unless I just said it as an example then. You will never, ever, ever hear me say those words, ever. You'll never, ever, ever hear me say, I'm so busy either, ever. You'll never hear me say those things, because I know that the universe is listening and it will give me more of that. And the universe hears your thoughts and of course, your words. So if you don't want that to be your reality, then stop saying it. So very nicely, you can educate people on that. This is what our role is as leaders, as educators, is to help inspire people to be the best version of themselves. And you can also say, when someone says, I can't afford it, you can say, well, I can teach you how to get your oils for free. Would you like that? And they'll be like, what do you mean, get my oils for free? Well, I can teach you how to get your oils for free. I can teach you how to also earn points and commissions and get free oils. Does that sound good to you? They'll be like, whoa, yeah, that's amazing. I'd love that. So use that. Okay, well, if you can't afford it, let me teach you how I can quickly get you to a place where you can get them for free. What do you think? They're not going to be like, no, I'm not interested. You know, they'll be like, okay. Yeah. Hope that helps.
Yeah, definitely. And do you think, I mean, this is a question that I'm sure you have been asked before, so I'd be interested to see what your response is. What do you say when somebody says to you, oh, but Mel, it's easy for you because, you know, you've got this many followers, or you have this kind of influence, or, you know, people listen to you. What would you say to somebody who said that to you?
Do you know what? No one has actually ever said that to my face, but I'm sure people have said that behind my back. I'm sure, but no one has ever actually said that to my face. But what I would say in response to that is, everyone, you know, it doesn't really matter the size of your Instagram account. You know, it doesn't really matter. What matters is, you know, because we have people in our team who are in tiny country towns who are killing it. And they don't even use social media. And you're like, okay, well, how does that work? It's an excuse and it's just a block. And we don't want anyone to compare themselves to anybody else. And if that is the story that you're telling yourself, oh, it's easy for Melissa because X, Y, and Z. No, I still have to work my butt off. I still have to show up. I still, you know, no one's going to enroll for me. I have to do it myself. If I want personal enrollments, I have to do it. I have to do workshops and online workshops, and I have to enroll. And just because I have more eyeballs doesn't mean you can't do it, because that is proven from some of the people in our team who live in small, tiny country towns and are just killing it. So don't let that be a block for you. Don't let that be a story. Just keep going. Like I said, check how many contacts you've got in your phone, and then, you know, your Facebook, and then your Instagram, and then your Twitter, and then your email list, and then go back to your high school year 12 photo and start inviting every single person that you went to year 12 with. Amazing way to reconnect with people, you know? So don't let that be a block.
Yeah, I found that this business has brought back so many relationships, like people that I haven't spoken to in the longest time, and now, you know, we're chatting all the time. It's so cool. I also wanted to say that everyone has their own brand of special sauce. So, you know, there's going to be somebody who, you know, will hear the way Melissa says the message and the way that I say it, and then the way that Grace says it. And they might totally be put off by the way that Melissa and I are talking about it, but the way Grace says it, like, because she's so badass, they're like, yeah, like, I want to enroll with you. So everybody has their own, like, little bit of special sauce. And Zoom just gave me unlimited minutes. It said, here's a gift. Thanks. But I just need 10 more.
Thanks, Zoom.
Yeah, thanks, Zoom. Okay, so I want you guys to be able to ask some questions too, but just before that, there was one more I wanted to ask around, two more. Give me two. Okay, so this business is so different to traditional 9-to-5 work, right? And so when we first step into a doTERRA business, it's like we've got our training wheels on and we're like, oh my God, what is this? This is so different. But we're so used to trading our dollars, well, our hours for dollars. Like we do this hours work and then we get this reward for that. But when you're starting a doTERRA business, you don't get paid for like the number of hours you're putting in at the start. So why would you say that even when you're in that position, why is it still worth it?
Oh my God. Okay, so today, and Anna knows this, is the first day of my period. And I felt quite low energy. And guess what I got to do all day today? I watched movies. I literally laid on the couch. I fell asleep in bed. I watched movies and I just relaxed. What other 9-to-5 job would allow you to do that? Now, the reason I'm telling you that is because that is freedom. To be able to do exactly what your soul and your body wants you to do and be able to flow with life, you know, and that is why you keep going. To be able to create your own hours, to be able to create your own life. Nothing is going to be handed to you on a silver platter, you know. And when you do first start out, it's like, what the heck? I'm working so much and you're not seeing the financial abundance flow in. But I promise you, if you stick at it, you will be so handsomely rewarded for the rest of your life. It says, what is a few years of hard work for a lifetime freedom? Seriously. What is a few hard years of putting the work in and then being able to go, I can literally lay on the couch all day on the first day of my period with this by my side. Literally, I've just been like allowing myself to rest and slow down and sleep. And how beautiful is that I'm able to do that? And I thought today, what if I had to go into a job today that I didn't love? What if that was my reality? And it's moments like that and days like that where I go, thank you so much, doTERRA. Thank you so much. And then, you know, Peter Kelly tells me the story about when she was in labor with Soul, she was texting her team going, this is so worth it. Keep going. Because when you are pregnant and then have, you know, a newborn, no one wants to stress or worry about money. I don't wish that upon anybody. But you do the work now, then in a few years you will be like, wow, I am so glad that I put in that work. I'm so glad. And, you know, you start to see the benefits of your efforts. That is such a rewarding feeling to be at that place where you can go, wow, look at what I've created. Look at the life that I've created, being able to, you know, take the whole day to myself and just rest. How beautiful. I just literally laid on my bed with my legs up, just resting, and fell asleep. It was just so beautiful. And I want that for all of you. I want you to be able to create your own life, create your own schedules, be able to wake up in the morning and go, be excited to do what it is that you do in this world. And sometimes I see people like just about to hit elite and they give up. And I just want to shake them. And I'm like, you are like you're so close. And if only they stayed, you know, and it's, you know, something might get in their head, their mean girl gets in their head, or maybe someone else gets in their head. But I promise you, if you stick it out, if you put in that work early on, you will be rewarded. You know, it's like in any job, you know, like climbing the corporate ladder. If that's, you know, what you want to do, if you want to climb the corporate ladder, you've got to stick it out. If you work in magazines, you start as an intern, then you get like a paid job, and then you work your way up. Maybe then you become beauty editor, whatever. But like Nick always says, what is a few years of work for lifetime freedom? And that's what this beautiful business model of residual income allows us to have. So beautiful. I still made money today whilst I was laying on bed with my legs up, rubbing this all over me. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I also love what Nick says about let doTERRA be your one thing that allows you to do your one thing. So, you know, the residual income that you're getting every single month for the rest of your life, like you might get to the rank of silver and you get paid $2,000 that month. But it's like, that's not just $2,000 for that month. That's, you've earned that $2,000 for the rest of your life then. Like, how crazy is that? And then that frees you up to be able to not put pressure on whatever that thing you want to do is. So for Nick, it's his music. And it's like, oh, well, I'm provided for over here, so I don't have to put all this pressure on my music to make me money. But like, you can do like all of the creative things, spend your days the way that you want to, create what you want to create. And you've got the freedom to do that. And so, yeah, we're just the luckiest.
Yeah, seriously. And whether it's, you know, music or writing books or doing pottery or raising your children, you know, or whether it's being full-time in doTERRA, like whatever it is that you want to do with your time, yeah, use the amazing gift that we have of this passive income. It's just the best. It's the best.
Yeah. All right, and I want to open it up to you guys. What
Any
questions do you have
questions?
for Mel? Make use of this time that we have. Special time with Mel.
I've got a question, if that's all right. So I'm just starting out. I had my first call with Anna just 2 nights ago. And Anna is coming over to Auckland next month, and we've planned a few workshops that we're going to do early March. And my question would be, what is the best and most effective way to initially reach out to people that you guys have found?
Okay, so I think one of the first things you can do is start sharing on your social media platforms. Okay, so because that starts to plant the seed with your people that are following you.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, you know, what's this? And then you've got to do it consistently though, right? Because that plants a seed in their mind. Okay. So that's the first thing to do. And then you have to become obsessed with the oils. You have to wear them and use them every single day.
Yeah. Doing that already. Yeah.
And then, you know, each person, you want to approach each person intuitively and differently. Like, you know, the single stay-at-home mom of 3 kids, you're going to approach differently to, you know, maybe the driven 27-year-old who's looking for ways to make money. You're going to approach everybody a little bit differently. This is where you need to use your intuition. Right. And so I have found by me simply sharing how I love the oils and what they've done for me in my life has been the best way to get people interested. So constantly using them, wearing them, taking them to friends' houses, giving out samples, talking about them, and that sparks interest. So yeah, I think authentically sharing about how you love them and use them, and listening to people's pain points. So the single mum who's got 3 kids, who's not sleeping, what are you going to do? You're going to make her up some sleepy time blends and you're going to give them to her. You're going to say, these will change your life. Spray this on your pillow before bed, rub this on your chest before bed, put this on the kids' feet, whatever. Okay, so really is such an intuitive, individual approach. But the more you love and use them yourself, the more authentic that's going to come through. My mum used to always say to me, and my mum still does this, you never go to someone's house empty-handed. And my mum still, she comes to my house with stuff. Like, she comes to my house with a bunch of flowers. It's so sweet. And I'm like, Mum, it's totally not necessary. Don't worry. Like, I just want to hang out with you. But my mum has that old school belief that you never go to someone's house empty-handed. And so I have that now. And I always take oils or rollers or spritzers or something like that. Even if I've got like a half empty bottle of frankincense, I'll be like, oh, this is all I've got left, but I wanted you to have this. You know, like it doesn't even have to be a full bottle, because people will be like, people who get it, they'll be like, whoa, frankincense, amazing. So another great, like I am obsessed with the spiritual and emotional side of the oils. So getting the book Oils and Emotions and, you know, talking to people about that, I find really, you know, when someone says to me, I've got this big speaking gig or presentation and, you know, I'm feeling really nervous, I'll be like, okay, try this oil. This is the oil of communication. Rub this on your throat chakra or whatever, you know, just send them something like you could screenshot the photo of the Oils and Emotions book page, the oil that you gave them, and just text it to them. To do. There's so many things but I've found they're the best ways to get people interested.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Grace got a question?
Yes, I do. When you get to the point where you've done like 2 one-on-ones with someone, you've sent them samples, you've sent them a webinar, you've done everything, and there's still like bad money story, or had to take the dog to the vet, or got to pay for the car, I feel like I get like the dog kind of ate my homework, you know, and you're just like, okay, and then you leave it, and then they send you a message on Instagram, they're like, your skin looks great, or seen your new photo shoot, oh my god, you're looking amazing. I'm like, yeah, it's doTERRA. Like, I think I've been screaming this for 6 freaking months. And they're like, okay, send me some more information. And you're like, whoa, okay. So you send them more information. And then, yeah, just when you get to that point with people, like, and you're just like, okay, like, I don't know what to do with you. I don't really know what else you kind of want.
I think this is where crystal clear communication is really important, because it's your time and it's your energy, and it's taking time and energy. And if that person is taking you for a ride, then maybe, you know, there needs to be a crystal clear communication had. And you could just say to them, hey, like, I'm feeling like you're not really interested. And that's okay. But should I stop asking you? Because I feel like I've been telling you for 6 months and I feel like you're not really interested, but maybe you are. So, hey, like either way, I'm so cool. But just let me know so I know how to approach it. And this is where crystal clear communication is so important.
Okay.
So maybe try that.
Yeah.
And just say, yeah, because I don't want you to flog a dead horse.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want you to do that. Like it's not fun. It's an energy drain. But just having a conversation, because then you'll know. She'll either be like, you know what, I'm actually not interested. Or she'll be like, no. Like I am really interested, but like I've just got to, get this, or I've got to do that, or actually it's a money block, or, and then you can help her from there. But you need to have an open conversation to know what's going on internally. And you can even say that, be like, hey babe, like I feel like I'm getting mixed things. Like, I don't know. Are you interested? Are you not interested? Do you want me to help you get your oils for free? Or am I like, barking up the wrong tree?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Does that help?
Yes. Yeah. I think, and then like people want them and then they like try with the other excuse, like, oh, so how do I actually get them? And it's like, you do know, you're just kind of like trying to navigate me as well. Like I've told you, and then you come back with the like, oh, so how do I actually do it? And I'm like, I've taken you through the steps on the first webinar, on the first one-on-one.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, there's probably, it's all covered up with a deep-rooted money block.
Yeah.
So you could help that person see that. But yeah, they're not really being clear. They're beating around the bush because they're not really willing to face what it is within them. Because sometimes when people say I can't afford it, what they're really saying, what they could really say instead is, it's actually not a priority for me. You know what I mean? Like when some of my friends used to say things like, oh, I can't afford this, or I can't think of an example right now, but I'm like, no, you can afford it. It's just that it's not a priority to you, or it's not important to you, and you don't want to spend your money on that. And that's okay. Just be honest.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're not being honest. It's that they honestly don't have the level of self-awareness that we have, because we've done a lot of personal development work. So you can send them, some stuff on Peter Kelly's Rewriting Your Money Story. Send them, my podcast episode with her, or something like that, just to start to plant that seed in their mind. Because like when people say, oh, I can't afford, organic food is so expensive, I can't afford it. I'm like, well, it's just not a priority for you. Because if it was, you would move mountains to make it happen.
Absolutely. I've talked to Anna about this as well. We've had so many conversations around this at the moment, just with a lot of collective money stories going on. And I was like, I remember when I bought my home essentials kit in August last year, I worked an extra job for 3 weeks to save up the $400. And I was just like, and then when I'm like, they're like, that's so expensive, or I don't have the money. I'm like, exactly what you're saying. Like, yeah, I understand it might not be a priority for you right now, but you would go and spend $200 on some shitty ass Chloe perfume, and you can turn around and say to me that you didn't know Whisper was that expensive.
Totally. And there's just a bug that's come inside.
Yeah.
Babe, can you come and grab this bug thing? I need my Terra armor. It's just flown in. So yes, I hear you. And what our job is to then, when it's not a priority for someone, what we have to do then is help them fall in love with the oils.
Yeah.
Even more. Okay. So this is where you can just continue to sample. You
Okay.
can continue to educate. You can continue to send podcasts and books and, things, because when they fall in love, they will see the value.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really important because, yeah, like you said, they'll go spend $200 on a pair of, Gucci shoes or sunglasses or handbag or a nice dress for a Saturday night, or bleaching their hair, or some Revlon MAC makeup, or I don't know. But they won't spend money on their health. Like, to me, it's just like, it's absolutely ludicrous. But I think back to me in my early 20s, and it wouldn't have been a priority for me because it wasn't that time in my life. A priority was the latest Sass and Bide dress for Saturday night.
Yeah.
That was my priority. That is completely different to how I am now. My health is my number one priority. And sometimes if people haven't had a wake-up call, or a health scare or something like that, then it's not. And so we just have to help them fall in love with the oils. Education
Yeah.
around toxicity, conscious consumerism, get them to get the Think Dirty app.
Mm-hmm.
That converts a lot of people. Everybody write that down. If you don't have the Think Dirty app on your phone, get that ASAP. Because I'll say to people, okay, like, so when I'm talking about, toxicity in products and our skin being our largest organ, I'll say, what's your favorite product at the moment? Like, what do you use that might be a little bit iffy? And they're like, oh, Dove deodorant.
Oh,
like,
God.
I know. I'm like, okay, let's type it in.
I'll be like, can you get away from me, please?
Yeah.
With your
I'm like,
Dove.
yeah, let's type it in, shall we? Or what perfume are you currently using? They're like, Dior. And I'm like, okay, let's type it in. Colgate toothpaste, let's type it in. Let's do it. And you do it there with them. And they're like, whoa, okay. Yeah, maybe I should rethink this. Does that help a bit?
It does. Yeah, definitely. I know I'm in the circle. It's like I know what I know. Like, everything you say, I'm like, I know all these things. It's just educating all the other people around us. And, we're like sponges. We want to absorb all this. And then there's the other people that have still got like their programming and their condition the way they are. And they're like, I don't want to know that, or they kind of want to know a little bit. And then you tell them and you educate them. And then they're like, I'm just going to use this one of my friends, I was like, please stop using perfume. She's like, I'm just going to wait till it runs out. And I'm like, I was like, watch stink. Oh, I don't have time. But you have time to sit there and smoke and drink in front of me, but you do not have time to watch the stink documentary. Like,
I know.
At the point where you just get so frustrated, like,
I know.
That's what I feel like.
I know. When my parents are coming to stay this weekend, and they know that there's a no product policy in this house. Like, I'm like, Dad, I've told him so many times, no aftershave, because it makes me feel sick. And so I'm like, Dad, Mum, no perfume, and Dad, no aftershave. And so they're really good now. They usually, like, my mum doesn't put perfume on when she's coming to see me. My dad sometimes forgets about the aftershave thing, but I have to tell them before they come.
Yeah.
This guy, a tradesman, come over, and he walked in this morning at like 7:30, and I was like, knocked over by this disgusting cologne that I could smell from about 4 meters away, that lingered in our house. And I was like, oh, gross. So I like opened everything, put the fan on. I was like trying to air it out. It's just repulsive. Like, we just have to keep educating, because people don't know what they don't know. And sometimes they're not ready to hear it. and that's okay. But as long as we just keep educating, that's all we can do. And remember, people need to hear things sometimes 14 times. And then they might hear it 14 times from me and 14 times from Anna, but then they still don't get it. And then they hear it from Grace and they're like, oh, amazing. This is so interesting. They're just not ready to hear it. Like, oh my God, I have been telling my brother things for years. And then he'll be like, hey, did you know? And I'm like, I have been telling you that for so long. But he just doesn't want to hear it from his big sister. He doesn't. He does not want to hear it from me. So I just like, okay, whatever, you know. There's other people that do want to hear it from you. So go to those people. Find those people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like when you keep getting those no's, it's like, okay, well, over here I keep getting no's, so who else is there? Like, there's people that are ready. And the more seeds that you're planting and the more people that you're reaching out to, the more yeses that you're going to get. The wider you're casting that net, the more yeses you will get. So, yeah, just, it's like when I hear a no, I'm like, okay, next. So no just means next. So thank you so much for jumping on the call with us tonight, Mel. Especially when I'm sure you would have been wanting to be in with the cushions and watching a movie. But you love us so much that you came on anyway, so thank you. We really appreciate your time.
You're so welcome. Thank you. I hope you got a lot out of that. And I'm so grateful for all of you and all the amazing work that you're doing. And I really am so excited to see you all and hug you all at convention. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah, like I said, we'll be having lunch together and getting to know each other so much more. And we'll be all sitting together up the front again, hopefully. And yeah, there's going to be a massive crew of us this year. I think there was a huge crew last year. Can't even remember how many in total. But there's going to be an even bigger crew this year, so it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, can't wait.
Amazing.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a good day or night wherever you are, and sending you lots of love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.